Hi, I'm Morgan Langan from the Rejuvenation and Performance Institute here in Sedona at Grace Grove Rejuvenation Center. And I'm with my friend Dustyn from New York City. And Dustyn, you've just completed a week-long process with us. Can you tell us what the process was for you and what your experience was throughout that process?
Sure. Well, I definitely came into Grace Grove with no expectations, which I think definitely informed my experience here, and it kept any sort of premeditated defenses I would have coming into a place like this. But it has definitely removed, doing the cleanse and the rejuvenation process has helped me remove a lot of blocks that have kept a harmony between my mental, physical, and spiritual self. And through this process I've really found and discovered a cohesion between spiritual wellness and physical wellness.
When you came in here, you say you had no expectations, but you were going through some stuff, right?
Yes.
What were you experiencing before you came?
Well, I mean, I had so many blocks. I had blocks of shame. I had blocks of guilt throughout my life. I just felt I was just stunted spiritually. I had nowhere to go, you know. And it's not like Grace Grove was the first place that I ever tried. I've tried several rehabs. I've tried support groups, you know, Ignatium, but this is the first place where I've actually gained a sense of clarity of who I am, and not only just who I am, but my purpose in this world. And I wasn't able to see that because I was just blocked with so many things spiritually, and you guys have really guided me to let go of those blocks and allowed room for light to come into my heart and into my life, and has given me a 360 view of my past, present, and future.
That's that's the most important thing for me as our guest here at the center. Going home, do you feel like you have the tools to really, keep this going? Because it's one thing to come, like you say, you've been to other programs, you've done other things. Going home, are you going to be able to maintain this? Are you going to be able to keep moving forward?
Yeah, well, you know, I will, because the tools are accessible, you know, and they're not shame based, you know. And one of the things, the reservations I had with going to rehab is that it was very black and white. It was very shame based, and this is simply just a way to love yourself. And I think, and I have the tools to love myself, and why wouldn't I want to utilize those tools? You know, knowing how to, you know, how to eat better, how to stay away from toxins that pollute, you know, the accessibility of light into my life. You know, how to overcome life's obstacles and accept life on life's terms in a calm way. And most importantly, one of the first things that Puma said was to stay in the moment. And I can't tell you how powerful that idea was, because I'm always in the future or trying to inform my future by the past. And by just staying present, you really understand the gravity of this is what we have right here, right now, in this situation. And for me to really experience the moment, I have got to have a clear mind, body, and spirit. And it has allowed me the tools in order to do that.
That's exciting. I'm really excited for you going home, because that's where the juice comes for us, is knowing that you've really got something to move forward and build a future upon. And now you're an actor, right? So you've got a lot of, you get great jobs, and I know you've worked with some really big names, and some of our guests may recognize you out there on the film. But it's always like you do that one show, like you said, and then now I've got to go out and get another one. So you always have that pressure.
And I'm always living in that fear of that pressure,
yeah.
You know. And I don't feel that fear anymore. I'm actually excited about the journey.
Nice.
You know, and I don't fear what's going to happen, whether that be, you know, what I'm going to book next or who I'm going to work with next, because I actually trust in the divine light to guide me in that process, and I no longer feel like I'm having to control every single situation because I'm actually safe and I'm actually being taken care of every single day if I allow the universe and the light to do the work for me, and I'm not pushing it away with all my insecurities and all of my darkness. I'm not receptive to that stuff before. I was not receptive to that stuff before, and I've sabotaged a lot of auditions and a lot of jobs going into that. And this has allowed me. this has allowed me the opportunity to be light and to receive light.
Nice.
You know, and with that, I know that other people are going to be able to feel that energy, and it's going to only open up doors, and it's going to allow me to receive all of the beautiful things that I know is in store for me and that the universe has been trying to provide for me. And now I'm able actually to accept it.
That's great, and I think that's one thing. If you had one message for people out there who are like, you know, going through this and they're like not sure which way to go. You know, we go from one addiction to the next. We move on to different things. What would that advice be? To how would you encourage someone to move forward in a way that would make a difference in their lives? How would that look like?
You know, I would say for me, I can only speak from my own experiences, and I would say I had to make lifestyle changes, and Grace Grove gave me the opportunity to do that. And everybody, and I'm a little hesitant to say, you know, there's only one way to do this, you know, because it's such a subjective experience and it's such a personal experience. And here at Grace Grove, you really key into that, to allowing that person to have that personal experience. And I think that's where the growth came from for me, was coming in here without any expectations and changing what it is I put into my body, changing my relationship with food, changing my relationship with the people that I love, changing my relationship with myself, most importantly.
That's a great message. I think if that's one message that you can get and take home from Dustyn here, is that really realize that it's a full body experience. It's not just your body, it's your mind, your connection to spirit, it's every aspect. And when you combine all that, you become a whole person.
Well, and you're in touch with your higher self.
Yeah.
And I think that's the ultimate goal, is that we are attuned to our higher self, because it is when we are existing, you know, when we are connected to our higher self, it's when we are achieving all of our full purpose in life.
Yeah. And if there's one thing I can say for you, Dustyn, was always willingness. You know, even you may have thought it might be silly or it might not work, but you're willing to go and do it and make the difference and make the breakthroughs.
Yeah, and you know, listen, I'm the first person to criticize woo. I am, and I'm the first person, and I'm not going to say that I didn't come in here with the reservations, and not knowing what to expect coming in here is what kept me from having premeditated defenses, as I said earlier.
Right.
But you know, just really keeping an open mind and going into this experience. I've cried, I've screamed, I've laughed, I've smiled, and I'm leaving here. And I want to say this really quickly. When I spoke to Puma originally in my consultation, and I remember the man that I was on that phone, and I was in New York in a taxi, and I said to her, you know, I don't think that I'm going to be like transformed or changed or enlightened in a week. And she stopped me right there and said, you know, I think that you would be very surprised on what can be offered to you if you were open to the experience. And I heard that. And I heard that. And I knew that being as hopeless as I was and being as spiritually stunted as I was, that this was my only chance to allow change to happen in my life. And coming here really was the best thing.
Congratulations, brother. You know, that's what we hope for all of you, is just to have the experience of being yourself and living a life worth living, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dustyn, thank you very much. And you know, you're now part of our Grace Grove family, so you've got the support whenever you need it.
I feel so grateful.
Great. Yeah, same here, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you all.